Hello, Holy Strain. This is your DJ, Big OG Triple OG, Big Dog D Nasty. Today we are here with Proxy, a local Detroit hyperpop artist, to talk about her career and where things are going for her. I actually met her last March when she was on tour with Two Charm in Chicago. I shot for their show and we connected and we've been IG mutuals ever since. We're here to talk about her new releases, what's upcoming for her, and just everything in the world of Proxy.
Hi,
How are you?
can
Can
you
you
hear
hear me?
me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
I can. Okay.
Okay, sweet, sweet.
Hey,
Good.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, awesome. I have like 10-ish questions I'm gonna ask you,
Hmm?
if that's okay. Also, I kind of want to know because this is like my first person-to-person interview, so like if these questions are lame, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly. Who is Proxy? Like, sort of where did you come from? How did you get into music? That sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I've been doing music for a while. I'm actually from Michigan as well. I'm from
Hmm.
Dearborn. I don't know if you know where that is.
Yeah, it's like Metro Detroit area, right?
Mhm.
Or like in Detroit-ish.
Sort of, yeah, it's like it's still Wayne County,
Hmm.
but if I were to say like I'm from Detroit, that would be like a stretch because it's like its own little thing.
Yeah.
So from Dearborn, and we didn't really have like an arts program. Like we did in our schools, but it wasn't. I went to like a public school. It wasn't really like I don't know. It wasn't really doing much. So
Yeah.
I did Detroit Children's Choir for a while, and I started with like choir. And then I didn't really like to do any activities in school. Nothing really stuck except like piano and like music and stuff.
Hmm.
So I remember in like seventh grade, I was like looking at GarageBand and I was like, I promise I will learn
Yeah.
GarageBand and everything one day, but not tonight, because tonight I want to play Pop Tropica or some shit. So,
Yeah, you had to
I
get down
didn't,
to like the real shit. You're like everything else can I can deal with that later.
yeah, and that's sort of like how I've been doing life lately, but like I want to step it up. Like, definitely want to step it up. I have like a passion to do more, but I eventually learned GarageBand in like 10th grade and I was making like I was really into like folk music because I was like I like this actor River Phoenix
Hmm.
because I used to watch like a lot of Stephen King movies and then I saw he was like in Stand By Me and I was like, "Oh, he's really cute and he's vegan. I'm gonna go vegan too." And then I ended up being vegan for like 7 years and like people were like, "Are you doing it for the animals?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
Because I like this guy. Um, and then I was like, fuck them animals. And then I started eating them. I'm sorry. Um,
That's so real though. Like, it's actually really funny that you say that you love Stephen King, especially Stand By Me. Like, growing up, I loved Stephen King, but I was like the more scarier side of it. Like, Stand By Me was definitely a favorite for sure. River Phoenix was definitely like top on the Smasher Pass list. But like, I
mhm.
was watching like The Shining and being like, it's just, I think that's dope as fuck. That's really funny.
Yeah, I was into Stephen King in like sixth grade because my mom let me read The Shining. And then my
Hmm.
stepmom was like, she's gonna grow up and be weird. And I did.
Yeah.
I fucking did. I got into like creepypasta. And then COVID happened. And I was like, I want to write music about creepypasta. And then I did because, like, for some reason, the scenecore bullshit was trending. And, like, I was like, oh, I can make scenecore music, la 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 la.
Yeah.
And then I grew out of that fast. And, like, that's sort of like where the project launched, unfortunately. And so like now it's like, oh shit, like my algorithms, all of these like scene core people.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, I really like Skrillex and I like electronic music. And it's like, well, make electronic music. And it's like, okay, I'll make an electronic song and then like my algorithms won't like pick it up because it's not like the I like creepypasta. I like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
and so now I feel like I'm like a little stuck with that. So I've been for the past like ever since 2022, 2023, I've been trying to like steer myself in a direction where it's like, okay, I like alternative music, so I'll make like a song with like a alternative artist, or like I'll do
Hmm.
like a band thing, or like, and now like music is, it's not like, what is it, content versus, you know what I mean? Like back then it was like genre based, like you could only do one genre pipeline, and now it's
Yeah,
more of like content versus context. Like contextual music is like when it's like music to listen in your room, or like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this
yeah,
playlist is for the bathroom in
yeah.
the
You're trying to,
club.
so like it's more, it's less of like where you would listen to it. It's about like what's going into it or like what it looks like rather than what it feels like.
Um, I'd say I'd say it's like it's less like strict and confined. Like you must stick to one genre, and a lot of people can relate to this. Like a lot of artists, um, when they're like, I like all of the genres, but it's just the vibe and the sound that connects it, if that makes sense. Like the themes, the sound, the vibe. Like you listen to it and it's like, oh, these instruments, even though it's not like an alternative song, it could be a pop song. It still reminds me of this artist. I'm trying to think of like artists like Jane Remover. Like they'll make like they make that like drony, like what do you call it? Like shoegaze, whatever,
Yeah,
experimental, but also make like pop.
yeah.
But it's like still Jane Remover because maybe it's their vocal chain, or maybe it's their atmosphere or something that they're using technically to make the sound, but it's not like pertaining to a specific genre anymore because we have like
Mhm.
access to the internet and like all the knowledge ever right
Yeah.
now. So it's like you can make whatever you want to make. It just has to like pertain to your realm and your sound and your vibe. And that's sort of like what I've been doing for the past couple of years, and getting out of the scene core, like the weird, like, I know that you want me, you can be the
Hmm.
one. I don't know, like that stuff's cool and everything. It's just like I totally grew out of it, and now I'm like at like a standstill where it's like I'm more mature, but I'm still like still out here. But I'm just sort of like I'm done playing around. I want to make club music. I want to dance and have a good time and not be like fucking weird
Yeah.
anymore. You know?
Yeah. It's like you've done the like teenager shit and now you're ready to do the like young, fun, young and turnt shit.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm not very turned because I'm like still sort of like socially awkward until like you let loose in the club and you dance. I just like dancing. I don't like doing anything else. I like to sort of like close my eyes and dance and
Yeah.
then feel the vibe and get lit. And then once I'm lit, I could be turned, you know?
Hmm. Sorry, I'm like so awkward. I just like I woke up from a nap. So
Good
like,
morning.
yeah, for real.
Do you
Speaking
go to
of
the
like,
club?
huh?
Do you go to the club?
Sometimes I like so occasionally when the paycheck's right, I like to go to Chicago and I like to go to all the different shows there. Radius is one of my favorite venues.
Yeah,
I think actually tomorrow Underscores is playing there and I'm gonna try and like,
the radius.
yeah.
Yeah, you should go. I saw that. That was Hidden Ideas. I work at Guitar Center, so
Oh, that's
the
dope as
girly
fuck.
sometimes. I thought you were from Chicago actually, so that's why I was like,
No, I'm actually
I thought,
so I'm from Battle Creek in
oh
Michigan.
shit, the
Yeah.
Kellogg.
Yeah. So like we're not too far off in like, distance. I always just like to go to Chicago because in my eyes, Chicago is the Michiganders' New York. And like
Mm,
it's just way more fun over there. But yeah, no, I would love to be from Chicago. I was supposed to go to University of Chicago, but things fell through.
nice. It's expensive. It's probably
It's
best
so
to get your
expensive.
education without going into debt somehow.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Chicago's nice. I'm blessed to be here. I'm from Dearborn, like I said. My mom actually had an apartment in Battle Creek, like in those like there's like two apartment buildings. Her
Hmm.
apartment was like in one of them. She was like, it was by like the weird horse looking snake statue, you know?
Oh, by
Um,
like Lila Arboretum.
I think so. Do you know the statue? And
Yeah,
they're
it's
like,
like
we're gonna,
you're talking about like the flat horse that's like has,
yes.
yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was like our apartment, and I remember looking at it like that thing is ugly.
It
And my
is.
mom was working on like she was working on the press. Like she had like a PR company back then, and they did PR for like the revamp of the downtown Battle Creek
Hmm.
because they were trying to revive it. And
Yeah,
everyone was like, "We're gonna get rid of this horse statue," and then everybody was like, "No,
yeah.
that's our that's our identity."
It's been like a big point in contention for people here, like the horse statue. I really don't know why. Like
It's so ugly.
it's like apparently a tribute to like the Native American population, but I
Oh, I'm
don't know
sorry.
how true that is. I
That's like
really
why
don't
they
know
want
how
to
true
keep it.
that is.
They just. Oh, now I feel bad.
No,
Shit. They
I
give
feel
him a
like
better horse.
I feel like it's like an ugly statue and they just slapped on an excuse, which makes it worse. You
no,
know? Like, because they're like, oh, it's for the Native Americans. I bet you if
it's
you
not.
ask one of the like one of the natives around, they probably will look at you and say that shit's ugly. Like,
Yeah, that's not how you honor them because you should give them like a glorious bigger horse. Because that
yeah,
thing you could like hop on it.
yeah. And like, or just like give them land back.
Yeah, instead of like a copper horse snake looking thing, just give them. Yeah. Oh fuck. That's like the worst. What is that? There's like a documentary. It's called like something bear about like one of the. Hold on, what was his
Is it
name?
Cocaine Bear?
No, it was like a Native American documentary. Like, I don't want to butcher this about the natives. It's on HBO. I couldn't even watch it. It was like sad.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know, but like they had such like a better system than we do, like just
yeah.
respecting like nature and stuff, and especially the buffalo, like moving with the buffalo.
The buffalo is very important for their community in the early stages of life, which was the like whole history of the buffalo and the natives and the US government is insane. Like if you ever go back and look at it for some reason, I only remember it from like high school history class and I was like, "Oh shit. That's
Yeah,
crazy work." But
yeah, because imagine just like how long has America been around? Like 200,
250
300?
years.
Yeah, so before that, it was just like people who occupied this land for thousands of years. And
Yeah.
the reason why they didn't have a good defense was because, correct me if I'm wrong, they like didn't have a lot of permanent cities. Like some of them did, but like because they're like nomadic, they had no base to like hunker down
Yeah.
and just defend. So it's just like that's the bummer as well because it's such a beautiful culture that we demolished. And now it's just sort of like I feel like a cog. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
there's really no freedom. Um, yeah, because like even like I work a day job. I work retail like 40 hours. It would be cool to just like have like a role where it's like gather or something and like or build something.
Yeah.
Like not like have to like work for like a company all the time. I don't know.
Well, to get on a less sadder topic, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
that's okay though. That's okay.
Respect
Um,
the natives.
yeah, respect the natives for real.
Mm.
Um, Speaking of changing genres and being fluid in your work, recently you released your, I don't want to call it a collab, but I also don't know if I should call it a group, but Daughter House.
Oh yeah, it's like a band.
It's a band.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the inspiration behind that a little bit?
And we finished the track a year ago. We just never really did anything with it. Um, how like I work as like a producer and as a songwriter is I love guitar. So it's like you give me a guitar stem and I'll just like chop it up. I'll add stuff. Like that's like my song starter. Like I
Hmm.
pay people to send me guitar riffs and stuff. But in this case, I didn't have to pay Lucia. We were in like a band with Olivia. So Olivia's a drummer. We don't have a bassist because we use like a synth bass, like a witch house synth bass, which is cool. And it'd be
Hmm.
cool to implement that live. We just have to like get chemistry together and we have to figure out how we're doing like our performances. We have to do practices, but as like a songwriting session. Like I just sat down with Lucia and she gave me like just like she's like, here, I was just fiddling around with this thing, and then she gave me that guitar riff, and then I just like added synths and instruments and like produced the track because I'm a producer. I produce like most of my stuff. I think there's a couple tracks where I paid producers to give me a beat and I just diddle on it. But I prefer to like produce my own stuff because like, but going into the future, it'd be nice to work collaboratively with other producers. Maybe not just like hop on a beat, but like sit down in a space and like go back to back on different melodies because I like having two minds together. If it's just my
Hmm.
mind, it's just gonna be my vibe. And sometimes it's nice to like make like a song baby with another. It sounds weird, but like you know what I mean. Just
Yeah,
like a sorry. But it'd be like two minds
yeah,
in the studio. Yeah.
yeah. You just like collaborating.
Yeah.
Dope as fuck.
So that happens. We produced Cage, and then our drummer laid down. Like we had the opportunity. Someone's like, "I want to track your band," and we're like, "Okay, this like turned out perfectly at the right time." So we tracked down the drums. Then a couple months later, we sent it off to my mix engineer, and he like mixes and masters my stuff because I like it loud. Um, and then yeah, that song happened, and then we were just sitting on it for a while. We did a photo shoot because like we wanted to do like a whole launch and like a video, but like we all work at Guitar Center actually,
Oh, that's
so it's
dope.
sort of funny. It's really funny because like we'll see each other, but we won't have like a band meeting because we'll be like looking over our shoulder for like the manager and stuff when we are talking. So it's just like this is not ideal. Like we need to like schedule time to do stuff. And I want to like flesh out a full project with them and like be in the grind and maybe that's to come. Like I want to like ramp it up. Like I'm tired of like not having like the full releases that I want to have in my head. I just want to like have time and I just impulsively quit my job actually. So like I have to figure out how I'm going to get money. I'm moving back in with my mom soon. Right now I'm house sitting, but like my life is like fucking like I don't
Yeah,
know. So like maybe there's gonna be like more projects and more releases, but I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. But like yeah, so that song we just dropped it. We're like, let's just drop it. Like we're not gonna do like a full release, and we dropped it, and it actually had really good reception because alternative is like a genre that like I grew up listening to so much My Chemical Romance, Pierce to Veil, Falling in Reverse, Sleeping with Sirens, Attila, like all of these like Warp Tour bands. I went to Warp Tour. That was like my thing. That was my identity. Skrillex too. And so like just being able to like write music like that, it like completed something for me. And like I'm like maybe I don't want to just be like hyperpop. Maybe I want to like do more stuff with instruments because it occupies more sound than just like digital stuff. Like just like it's more full like in my ears and like it's I like doing the emotional stuff. Maybe I don't want to just like make club music. Maybe I want to like scream on a track or something. And that's like versatility, but at one point I just want to like pick something and just stick with it and build off of that. But I don't know, I'm like all over the place right now.
yeah. Would you rather be internet famous or studio record famous?
Probably studio record famous. Cause like I can't really I tried doing the internet grind thing, and maybe this is just like a part of my personality. I can't seem to stick with something. Like I've been able to stick with like releasing music for like 5 or 6 years, but like in terms of like how to promote it or like what sound I want to do, I've been all over the place. Except when it comes to like my albums, those are like more conceptual. But like out of the entire process, what I like the most is creating the tracks. I don't like putting my face on the internet. Sometimes I'll like do something and then like I'll archive it because I'm like, this isn't art. This is just showing my butt.
Yeah,
And I don't want to just show my butt. I want to like have people appreciate my music and be like, wow, this inspired me. Um, but sometimes I get advice that's like, oh, it's so easy for you. You're a girl. You could just look hot on the internet. And it's like, okay, but like that's like what the music sucks ass. You know, like I want to make something good. and I want it to reach people who have good taste, and I want it to be on like their like if they're looking through like their CD collection, be like, oh, this one, you know, it's like this one's
Yeah.
great, not just like something that they're just like, oh, whatever. There's so much music in the world, and then when I die, I want to have people be like, wow, this was such a masterpiece. I'm gonna listen to this forever. Like, I don't want it to just be like a passing phase. So I'd rather. That's a good question. I'd rather have the notoriety from innovating something with sound rather than just like be like, oh my god, they influenced me to buy matcha today. I don't know. I don't want to throw shade either because there's a lot of people who do like the fashion stuff, but like I could do the fashion stuff if I like plan it out. Like I like what Grimes does, where she like does the full on like design of her like outfit because she wants to fit into like a cyberpunk realm. Like I think that's cool. But that's like very like that's in the context that she has like a full production or a full shoot. Like because sometimes she'll just be chilling, like wearing like a jean jacket or something.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like I can't just like dress up every day because like the art in the world exists in my mind, and I like having the medium to like throw it out there. Um, so yes.
Okay. Awesome. Um, you were talking about collabing earlier and how much you like to collab. This is, to me, in my mind, this is like the most basic, dumbest question possible. But like it's a question I wrote, so I must ask. Who is your dream collab, alive or dead?
Oh yeah. This is not a stupid question. I have so many dream collaborators. I'll like make a song specifically for. Of course, I like having my own solo stuff, but sometimes that's not good enough for me. I like to like listen to somebody else's like vocals, like the cadences in their voice, whatever their vibe, their sound, and I like to like fuse it with my own ideas. So good question on that part. I actually used to have a list on my refrigerator. I threw it out because um I don't know why I threw that list out. But number one is Grimes.
Mm,
Number two is Skrillex. I don't know if this will ever happen. It would be cool if it would. Just gotta keep at it. Number three is Meat Computer. I think Meat Computer is really cool. Number four is Black Veil Brides. I like the alternative stuff. I like their older stuff. I really like bands. Um, Billy Idol, like he's from
oh,
the 80s. I think he's like really hot and Australian, and his like older stuff is so dreamy. And I like this 80s like synth like
hmm.
spacey stuff. I feel like that sound is super cool. I wish he wasn't so old. Fuck. Um, but um, I don't know. Just like people who like have like a idea for what they like to do with their sound. There's a lot of new people coming out, which is a vibe, but like I don't know, my sound like my taste gravitates to a lot of mature sounds. Um but definitely rock and alternative would be really nice. But probably like number one is Grimes. Like I just like what she does. Like I've always found like peace listening to her stuff. Like this is like it takes me out of my head and puts me into hers. So and I
Hmm.
can click well with it. So I'd want to do either Grimes or maybe like Poppy, but not really. Just more Grimes.
Yeah. What is your favorite Grimes record, might I ask?
Favorite Grimes record? Let me see. Let me put them in front of me. Um, I don't want to say Visions because there's only like two songs I like off of that,
Oh,
and the rest is
I
like
love
conservative.
Visions. I have it
Yeah,
on
it's
vinyl right now.
nice. Um, I liked her Cyberpunk record. I liked a lot of these songs off her. That one's called. She did like the score for
Hmm.
Cyberpunk 2077. So I liked a lot of her like Lizzie songs off of there. That was like the most vibey. What do you like about Visions?
Um, well, I really like the art, and I just like how dark it is. Like it's a really dark album. When I listen to Symphonia 13, I think is the number, like that song just makes me feel so happy. And
Mm-hmm.
the little like breakdown synth part is amazing. And it's actually really funny because I didn't know about I didn't find out about Grimes until I found out about Current Joys because they did a cover of Symphonia on Wild Heart. And then
Mm.
through that I found out about Visions and I listened to that entire album. I think it was like 2021 and I was 13 in my room during COVID, like sad as fuck. And I just listened to the entire album straight and it was the best thing I'd heard at the time. Um, I would, it's hard saying that Visions is my favorite, but it is the first one I found of hers because I do like Getty Primes a lot. Her Dune
Mhm.
work, that shit was fire. But Visions is just, I think it's timeless, low key.
It's good. A lot of it I feel like is concept, like conceptual stuff. I like
Mhm.
the analog
Yeah.
part of it. The reason I like the cyberpunk is cyberpunk soundtrack has 4 a.m. and like I play that game a lot, so it's just like in my memory.
Yeah.
4 a.m. off of it, like the more I don't want to say polished, but like less experimental, more just like loud. Also had like Delicate Weapon, which is like a atmospheric vibe.
Mhm.
So most of the stuff I just relate to the game. But yeah, Visions is cool. She was like younger when she did that, so I feel like a lot of it's very what's the word I want to go for? Just like fairy. Like,
Yeah.
it's like more like fairy stuff.
Yeah. It's more
And
like twee and hopeful.
yeah, where she's just yeah. There's something that she said like in an interview, which was like, when you're younger, that's when you really have your best ideas. But like I feel like that's like so subjective to say that. It's more of just like when you're in the right atmosphere and mindset to create something. Um, that's when you could make different works that match your brain, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how I feel currently. And that's why a lot of people do drugs.
I also think too, like the whole age thing is very subjective because also there are so many people who didn't have like their big breaks until later. Like I
Mm.
think about, which is so cliche to say, but like The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola was in his late 30s, early 40s when that came out. And he had made like, I think a couple, maybe three movies before that that were kind of flops. And The Godfather comes out and everyone loves it. And I think there are other artists too. Like, I don't think people considered Lady Gaga to have hit her peak until she was in her early 30s with uh what did she release? I want to say it was art pop, maybe? Question mark.
Lady Gaga, early 30s, Breakthrough, A Star is Born. Um, Art Pop was interesting because that's when she did like a Lala debut, Lollapalooza.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you get like a lot of notoriety. But she was also in the right place, right time for a lot of her music because she was doing the weird shit, like the art pop shit, right? She had that breakthrough.
Yeah.
And then she was in New York and she started working with like I'm sure you've like seen this like being posted online. They're like, remember when R&B was there's R&B music making like club EDM bangers like the
Mm-hmm.
Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Maybe that this was like before, but like sort of like that flavor where you have like those R&B producers making like the pop classics. So like she was like a powerhouse vocal on those. And then I was a little sad in her career when she diverted to that to focus more on her Italian side or whatever. But I still appreciate like the fly me to the moon.
Yeah. That
That's range or whatever.
the jazz stuff was very interesting, especially with Harley Quinn coming out. That was a very interesting album. Um, can't say I like jazz from her that much, but I think it was a very bold move.
Yeah, and it made me be like, wow, she's a vocalist, not
Yeah.
just like a an experimental American Horror Story lady. And then she tried coming back to it with like working with like the French. What was her recent album? Do you know?
Mayhem.
Mayhem. She tried doing like the French techno shit.
Yeah.
Which like to me like that's more of just like Halloween
Yeah.
tonight, which is
It
fine.
feels a lot like her old stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't like party, which I liked about her olds. I don't know. Like I like her overall. I like to just like critique it like in a devil's advocate sort of way, and it really depends on the mood. So if you're feeling sad, they got Joanne. If you're feeling lit, they got Fame Monster. If you're feeling jazzy, you got all that jazz, you know.
Yep.
I don't know. Full
Yep.
spectrum of human emotion and range. That's what I like about an artist, and that's what I aspire to be, and not just like get notoriety and success riding off of collabs. Like I want to like create like a masterpiece album that encompasses like world building aspects, but more of just like just one vibe in an album that's very distinct, and I want to like make that, and then be like, this is my baby.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. It's just everything is like buzzword Spotify. This is the DNA of what I want to come because I've been doing this for like 5 years. The success in music really just comes from riding. From me, my success came from riding the trends. Like if someone's doing like one micro niche genre, and it has like a whole package of like fashion and media and references and Discord communities and everything in it, and like there's other people doing it, and you release a song that's like really good on like a producer level, like and it has like good melodies and whatever and like a good sound and it's unique and it's still in that genre, it's just different from what everyone else is making. That's going to be bumped up, especially if it has like a feature. But like I want to make something that's my own and not just like riding off of these like trends and phases that happen on the internet, because it's like that everything, there's no real, I don't believe there's an original idea for stuff, but I want it to be like a bunch of like ideas to make its own original concept. Like the Stephen King universe, those are all original concepts, or like most like fantasy landscapes, like the whole Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? Just like world stuff
Yeah.
where you can just get like lost in it. So that's like my goal as an artist right now.
All right. Okay. So you would say that you're more focused on world building rather than like flashiness or like what's in the now.
Yeah, because I want it to be timeless.
Yeah.
Um, I respect people that are able to make really cool, trendy music that's like, this is the sound of right now, like, that's why I really like Magna Carta. Like, when I listen to it, I'm like, this is so 2026. Like, they're so
Hmm.
ahead of their time. Like, they're really defining what's considered electronic music, or like, even like Snow Strippers. Like, oh my God, that's so 2023. Like, this is awesome. Take me back to the witch house.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I want to create something that's of my own. But sometimes the world building thing, it doesn't like click with people, which is fine. But like, I have like a couple people that are like really into it and they get lost in it, which is nice. But um, also like on a sonic level, I don't want it to be more of like singy song vocally. This is my song, la la la. I want it to be more like vocals drown out, more of like the feeling and the vibe and the beat pushed forward. Um, Less thoughts, more feelings, sort of. That's like the sound that I want to make. So if I'm able to do that, that would be freaking excellent. But right now, we just have like playing around with the alternative stuff, playing around with guitars. Did some world building conceptual albums in the past, but going forward, I want it to be a vibe.
So we have like 5 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Mm.
Um, I want to ask, so why do you think that people should pay attention to Proxy, or in a, I guess in like a more non-harsher way of saying that in a way? Like,
That's it.
what do you have to offer to the current sound, or what do you want people to know about what you have to offer as an artist?
Why should I stand out more to other people? Um, it's a good question. Let me just think about it. No, we have 5 minutes. Why am I different from other artists? Um, there's a lot of different artists out there, and all of them really want it. It's like a career of passion. Like you're not necessarily chasing after the money. I mean, some people do. Um, I just really care about what I do. You know, it's like a diary of my life. So if you care about like the type of worlds that I could build throughout my life, every album is a landmark. But like this is where I was in my head. This is coming into fruition. I put a lot of thought into it, a lot of intricacies, a lot of Easter eggs trailing back to each other. Um, Sometimes the songs fade into the other. My fan fiction EPs. Um, it's just like the theme. It's something to get lost in. So if you have like a day where you could listen to all of the albums going from first to last, it'll occupy your entire day. It'll be like a whole world. Fading from like dark to light is sort of like the contrast currently. Even if you look at the art, it starts on the very like gross, like gore. If you go on SoundCloud, like I did a lot of stuff with gore, even before the scene-core stuff, and just really dark serial killer tropes. And then the more recent, the more current, it just goes up to like a light, so it's like you're crawling up with the music. I think about like um, every year you just add to the database of like having like looking at the music as a project rather than like individual releases, and like there's eras with every artist, but with me, like I have a lot of background in like composition, music theory. I used to teach piano for 2 years. That was like my main instrument. So just like the artistry, I try to produce everything myself. I usually
Hmm.
do. The artistry I put into it, it's complex. Um, take a lot of time with the vocals. Just something to get lost in, really. So if you like to like disassociate, if you like to just like be in your own head and like be away from like your present, you could come to my art. And what I want to do for it going forward is like I said, less on my own vocals, less on my own lyrics, less on my own thoughts, and more on like my own feelings, so that I could put my head into yours or something, and you could just feel it or like really connect with like a vibe and just have it like take over your entire soul. So that's like my next goal. So each album is its own goal. So it's like if you trace back to my earlier stuff, you could be like, okay, what was the goal behind this? Like it's seasons. Like my work has seasons. Sometimes there's like winter songs or winter albums. Sometimes there's summer. Sometimes there's spring and fall. So there's something for every rotation of the earth. It's just like we were talking about with Lady Gaga. Like when you think about an artistry, it's not just like all of the cover arts must match and be consistent. Like no, like it's more of just like there's something weaving it together, but it may not be like everything is this theme. It's all very different and intricate. Um, but why should I stand out more than others? I don't know. That's very subjective. Like if you vibe with it, you vibe. If you don't, you don't. There's a lot of different music. I try to crank it all out and I try to make it really good quality as like a as somebody who's an artist, not somebody who's like trying to push it onto people for like trend hopping. But no shade onto that. Trends are really cool. I really fuck with the trends. I
Yeah.
just like I really like I think about my art too much, and that's why I stepped away from it for a little bit, like a month, not making any art until I could live life a little bit, take it in, and then spit it out and make it consistent with a theme. So yeah, my next project I want to like literally create like I want the songs to, like I want to make a map, and then I want like the songs to be like these songs are for this part of the map. These songs are for that part of the map. Like it'll like start from like icy land and then like fade down into like radiation swamp, and then like be like big cyberpunk city, and like there'd be like music for every landscape for that. So like it's just like broader ideas and themes. So it's like music if you like to get lost in it, really. So yeah, let me talk about all my albums because like the singles is just like experimenting with sounds, sometimes experimenting with people and seeing how we could fuse sounds together. But The albums are the concepts. So I have Darling It Wouldn't Be a Party Without You that mixes like it's like early Gaga, not really, but like it's pop. It's dubstep. It's mischievous, it's fun, it's cute, it's dark. It's like ballerina stuff. It's also like on stage. Like I have a tattoo of like the angel. It's like a crying angel, and then there's like a spotlight, and then
Hmm.
it's like metallic and dark and empty and spooky and like that was like a more refined pop dubstep album. And then it goes to Hotel Proxy, which is liminal pop, sort of like sort of crazy little. It's like a story,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of art. I like coded a website for it too, and there's like a video series, and that was just like a fun. I didn't even tell people when it was releasing. I just dropped it, and it was like eerie and liminal pop. And then it went to Every Second, Every Moment, which was more like frosty, icy, stripped down, and more like beep bop boop bop, sort of like just more focusing on the sound, and that was less on the concept and more of like trying to like experiment, find a different sound, and get out of like the sad. Um, but it was more icy, so I wanted to make like a cold album. So that one was like more cold. And now this one's gonna be like if I'm gonna do the world building thing, I might as well build the world. So I have like a map in mind. I drew out the map, and this is taking me a while because like I've been trying to explain this to like artists, and they don't see the vision. They're like, I don't even think we should do that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna like make my own map, and all of this could be disregarded, and then with you guys because I'm gonna like make the outfits to match the map because nobody's gonna understand what I'm gonna want, and I don't even want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want to waste any of my money trying to pay artists to do execute a vision that I can't properly communicate, and that's on my end because it's living in my head and it's never going to be perfect on paper unless I just do it myself, and then maybe I could tell somebody to recreate it. But at this point, I might as well just do it myself. So I want to make I want the instrumentals to match the vibes and the terrains of the map. So I have the map drawn out. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like, there's like the icy, like like glowing purple and
Hmm.
icy part of the map, and it melts to like a swamp where like there's like hot pools of like toxic, like the picture of like the people in bikinis like hanging out like in the in the swamp, like the
Yeah.
toxic tunnel thing. Like with the bikinis, like there'd
Yeah.
be that, and that's where the finance people hang out and like have fun. And then there's like a cyberpunk city in the middle, and that's like where the music is. And I want to make
Hmm.
like music where it's like that, like Yago is sick. I want to make like something comparable to like the quality of like Yago or Skrillex, and then have like the vocals be in the background and like be like echoey and reverby like in a tunnel, and then more towards the is that east? Yes, the east of the map would be like the liminal Caribbean tropical radioactive palm tree hurricane area, and then hello. So yeah, that's the map idea, and that would be the next album. So I'm excited to execute that.
So, if you could switch into any genre permanently, which genre would you stick to?
Um, for this project, I'd probably want to fuse something. I'd want to fuse something together. I'd want to fuse like alternative and hyperpop together. So just do like a good example of me doing this and experimental with is either my songs Suicide Room or Pity Party. So that's like a signature sound that I want to stick with. So it's not necessarily like the genre, but it's like more of like the sound, um, which is classified by like fast hitting four on the floor and then like warped, delayed, side chained guitar and like just like dreamy. I really recommend listening to Pity Party and Suicide Room, and that would be like the one sound where I've crafted where it's like, oh my god, this is so different from a lot of different things, and I'd like to expand on that and have it live in the realm of like hyperpop's an umbrella. I don't know how I'd like micro niche classify this, but I want to like create something of my own. So I think that's like what I'd want it to live. I want to take everything that I've been experimenting on for the past 5 years. I'm gonna make something of my own and innovate that. So, because right now I'm just sort of like jumping around to see what I do best. But it's like experimenting. It's really fun. There's some things that have really stood out in my career that I've enjoyed to make on the album, but it's not like I made like one masterpiece album where every song hits in my head, and that's like the goal. And I want it to stay into that genre. So listen to Suicide Room and Pity Party to get like a feel for that sound.
Dope shit, dope shit. Everyone sort of has their own defining moment of feeling like they've made it. And you just came off of two crazy tours. You just released a new song, Chasing XOXO, and you
Mm-hmm.
released Cage with Daughter House.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you if at this point you feel like you've made it, like this is the point where things are changing and pivoting, or if you think that you still have some time and there's some things you want to do before you can feel like things have fully shifted around for you.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't made it yet in my own, because everyone has their different level of success, like in their head and what they want to do with their life. And I want to shift it from, instead of thinking in terms of like numbers, like I want 100K on Spotify. Like, no, fuck
Hmm.
that, whatever. Who gives a fuck? I really want, like I told you, defining sound in a defining album where you're looking through a collection of CDs and you pick it out and you're like, this one.
Yeah,
Something that's like dignified to like earn people's respect, and be like innovative, which is why I really like Cemetery. Like, he did that and inspired me very early on in my when I started making music in 2021 for the scene core stuff, because he had like his own sound. He had influences, but whatever. Everyone
yeah,
has influences. Um, I just want to create something that's not derivative of somebody else's art, and I want it to be like more of just like me. Like when you listen to it, they're like, "Oh, this is Proxy," you know.
yeah.
And I think like once I have that album, like with the map idea especially in my head, once I have that out, even if like 100K people don't listen to it, I don't give a fuck. Like this is gonna be like my when I die, like I leave that people could like enjoy it. That'll be my masterpiece. I just want to make a masterpiece. That's when I feel like I've made it. In terms of the touring, I have to network. I have to do some more legwork. I have to get around and talk to people, talk to artists, and earn other artists' respect and be like, hey, let me hop on your tour. Another
Yeah.
example of an artist that I feel like has made the goal that I want is Evanora Unlimited. They have their own thing going on, and I think that's so cool. They're touring right now, and when you listen to their music, it's just distinctly them and their life experiences. So I want to have something of my own in that capacity, even if it's just one album. And then I'll feel like I've completed like my goals because I already toured. Like obviously, it'd be nice to do bigger tours one day. Um, but we'll see if we get there. If not, I'll be happy with the art.
So what are three words that you would use to describe the world of Proxy?
Let's see. Probably intense, dreamy, crazy.
Okay, okay. Um, I think this whole conversation, you've been like talking about wanting to be fluid in your work and sort
Mm.
of being multifaceted. Are there any like other avenues of art that you haven't touched that you want to? Like,
Mm.
do you want to like tap into fashion or maybe get into film, or is there just like any other niche that you would like to attack on your way through your career?
Probably like video game and code. I want to get more into computers, like creating something totally escapist, like interactive. I've always wanted to do something interactive, something with tech, even if it's like on a live standpoint, like having like a person. What word is that? Just like a sound system that is like. I went to this one show, and it was like completely dark, and they had like a intense strobe, and they actually like picked the sound system up and they moved it, but you couldn't see that they moved it, and it's like the sound system like moved,
Oh
and
shit.
it was very interesting. It was very I guess what I wanted to say is I want to create something that's more um interactive, sort of like pulls you in, like total disassociation with my art. I feel like that would be the main goal. And you could do that with video games too. Just like totally concept based. In terms of like fashion, like yeah, fashion's cool. I've like sewn a couple dresses and like worn them, which is fine. I'd wanna like but just like whole world building like video game and like coding and stuff.
Dope, dope. Um, just as like an internet nerd myself, I have to ask, were you a Roblox child or an IMVU child? I know you said Pop Tropica, but I feel like everyone played Pop Tropica in elementary, and then as we got to like middle school, it like shifted. So I
Of
just have to know
course,
which one.
middle school, right? So I was born in 2001, so I'm a little bit older than you. I'm 5 years older than you, right? So um, my life was DS, DSI, Pokemon for a while, and then on the internet I did Webkins, but my friends had more Webkins than me, so I was like, I'm just not gonna do this anymore because you guys have like 100 and I have
Yeah,
like 20 and I don't want to have any more actually because this is a problem and you guys
yeah,
have like so many fucking webkins in your room. Like this shit looks, they're like, some of them are dirty. Like what the fuck, you know? Like
yeah,
this is getting to a point where it's like you don't even care about if your webkins are like dying. Like
yeah. It's like a
you just
labubu.
want to collect them all. So I was a heavy Pop Tropica kid, and as soon as they, thank you, as soon as they got rid of the islands because Adobe Flash died, I sort of died too, and I was like, fuck this, like you guys eliminated my entire childhood. Um, and so I just did a lot of browser games until I really shifted into playing The Sims 3. So
Mm.
did I ever get into Roblox? As an adult, I played a couple like Roblox, go to Mexico and bring back like illegal guns and like the streets of Chicago, like
Yeah,
recreating like grown
yeah.
home, like, oh wow, shit. And I'm like, damn, this is what the kids are up to nowadays. I'm glad I had fucking Pop Tropica. Like,
It's bad on there. I know my little
yeah.
cousins love Roblox, and I had it when it was in the early stages because I'm '07. So like right around the time it came out, I was like getting ready to play. And it's
Hmm.
completely different and it's kind of scary. But I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree with you on like growing up, uh my parents tried to make sure I wasn't on the internet as much. So I had a DS, XL, mind you,
Damn.
a Wii U, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox
Yeah.
360. I had like everything. So like Sims, I'm privy to the Sims. One of my
Hmm.
aunts had like every single game and every single expansion pack. So I would like go to her house and fuck up
That's fun. It's
the
always the
best.
ant. Yeah. Actually, my friends would come over and I had like a Wii and I got into The Sims because I had a Wii. So I got like this like jank, like base game, Sims 3 game. And my friends would come over, they'd be like, okay, Carly, what do you want to do today? And I'd be like, can you just watch me play The Sims for a couple hours? And there's like times where they're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna call my mom actually.
Yeah. So like fuck it. Just like watch me play this. And it wasn't even that fun. I just like liked it. It was like comforting.
Yeah,
I was sort of boring. I don't know. I like the jank games.
yeah. You mentioned earlier creepypasta as well, so I also have to ask, who is your favorite creepypasta
Oh
monster?
God. That's so stupid. Because it was such a big part of it. I actually wrote so many fan fictions and that's like what my earliest work was about when I was like 18, like making this shit. I was like, I'm gonna write about my fan fictions now because I'm just sort of like building off of the work I did in middle school because that was like the only capstone I had to show in my life, just like getting all encompassed by like dark romantic fantasies and like being a total girl. So like yeah, it's basic Jeff the Killer, whatever. There's like there's other ones that I like, but that one I like the aggression and like I don't know. I just really like the whole like Stockholm syndrome aspect of it, and that's like what the emotions I tried to convey in my early works, like Stockholm syndrome. I'm a girl, la 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 la. But yeah, we grew from that. But like every once in a while, like I'll go back and like check to see if like Rover Rose wrote the last chapter of like Taken, Jeff the Killer, Dark Fantasy, and be like, oh, she's never finished it. I guess it'll be fucking unresolved
Yeah.
my entire life. But like looking back, like as an adult, I wish I didn't spend so much time doing that in middle school. Like I wish I like did like sports. Well, I did gymnastics. I did like really complicated, hard sports that were like not popular. Like I did like Czechoslovakian gymnastics. Yeah, I was like totally. It was like really strict. Did like a lot of interesting like marches and like just performing for people who upheld the culture. I'm not Czechoslovakian, and I know that's like a died, like an old civilization, an old country. I don't know, old
Yeah.
country.
It's like
It's
old boy
not
shit.
a.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it was weird. I like got into that, and then like I did cross country in high school, so like we'd go on like really long runs, like through the woods. But I never like to do anything that was like too like social. I just sort of like to like pick something and do it by myself, and that's sort of what happened with like my art and my music and my interests. Like just like pick something and like go really deep into it. So that's why I got into like rabbit holes and like world building and stuff because I like complexities. So, but I wish I didn't do that. Like, waste a lot of time in middle school doing that shit. I wish I like made more friends and like
Yeah.
made
I
more
think
music with more friends.
I think though, like those experiences do sort of make you though at the end of the day. Like I feel
Mm.
like if you didn't go through that, you probably wouldn't, Proxy probably wouldn't be a thing if you had like normal friends.